You are worthy. In 3, 2, 1. Hey, mamas, welcome back. I have such a great topic today. I have actually been struggling with this topic, like recording this topic, because I know it's going to take me to a place of vulnerability. It's going to be an amazing, like, if you stick with me through this, it might push some of your buttons. But I believe it will be something that you need to hear, something that, you may not even know you're struggling with, and something that could really be life-changing if you can just figure a way to get it into your body, into your bones, into your life, into your soul. And what is it? So it is, you are worthy. It is worthiness, worthiness, worthiness. And this is a topic that the reason that I say it's like can be touchy is because I feel like we all, in one way or another, lack the feeling that we are worthy of something, whether that be love or whatnot. I'm going to start again with a quote. So I'm going to use Brené Brown. Love her if you do not know her. This quote: when you get a chance, no, when you get to a place where you understand that love and belonging, your worthiness, is a birthright and not something you have to earn, anything is possible. Y'all. Whoo, that's deep, right? When you get to a place when you understand that love and belonging is your birthright. That is your worthiness. Like when you lack worthiness, you essentially are lacking love. You're lacking belonging. You feel that you are not enough for something. And you guys, if I go way back, like back to when I was growing up through my 20s, whatever, like I feel like I always felt like I was worthy of everything. Like I had this, I just got off of an Enneagram panel where I was speaking to my Enneagram type, which is an 8, and we are like doers. We are leaders. We are, I forget what the actually is. I think the challenger. So we like to challenge people's, like I've said before that I'm a devil's advocate. Like I like to challenge people's opinions. I would have made a good lawyer probably, right? Like, so have always been like this driver, this doer, wanting to achieve things, and have always felt like I was worthy of massive success. Like I really believed that until I didn't. And it's funny because, like, it's not funny, but it is very strange. I don't even know if it's strange. It's just life. Life comes at us, and things and circumstances that happen to us in our life, they mold who we are. And so while growing up, I had an amazing childhood. I was always told that, I was smart, I was talented, I was pretty, I was, all these encouraging things that people say to you. And I was loved, and I was, my mom had decided to stay home with me when I was little. And so like I had someone who was there for me. So I didn't, I guess, struggle with worthiness until later in life. And you know, I call this podcast Mama's Redefine Success, because when, if you rewind my life back to before children, I felt like success was, it was all about me, right? Like it was my success. Success to me was what was going to happen to me, or I was always a giver. So, I wanted to make more, earn more so that I could give more, so that I could have more, but also give more. Like, I'm not really huge into material possessions. Like I love to shop and things like that, but you don't usually see me going and buying big purchases or spending a lot of money. I love to bargain shop. But I'm not a big spender. And even when I was making, six figures when I was single, and had no responsibilities other than myself, I was saving a lot and, doing, achieving, always wanting more success, and success at the time looked like, maybe like a rank in my company, or, a certain level of sales, or, how many people were in my programs, or, how was this performing or that performing, like different times, different things. Was I winning awards? Was I winning contests? Was I winning, trips? Was I winning all of these things? Like it used to be all about that. Um, and like I said, I still had this giving heart, and I wanted to give away more, and I wanted to save more, and I wanted to, be able to do what I wanted to do, but it was more about me. And then after kids, it became a completely different version of what success looked like for me. And it looks more like, I want to have the money so that I can have the experiences with my kids, just the lifestyle that we want. It's not so we can have more things. It's more so we can travel. So I can hire a cleaner to clean my house, and don't have to do that. I can give more. I want to give back in a big way. Like I don't feel like I'm doing enough in that area. Like I should be making more so that I can give more, so that I can, like, I actually want to start a charity. So I have all these big dreams now, but success looks way different to me now than it did before. And I've kind of gone off on this success tangent. And I think one of the reasons, and I'm just kind of like realizing it right now, is that my worthiness used to be tied to success, and what that definition was. And a lot of people's worthiness is tied to success. And that that should not be what your worthiness is tied to. You are worthy simply because you are, simply because you deserve to be loved. You deserve to feel that sense of belonging. You deserve everything that you want in your life. You deserve that. You are worthy of it. You are worthy. Like, I want you to say that over and over to yourself in the mirror. Like, I am worthy. And you can insert anything after it. Like, I am worthy of massive success. That was hard. That's an affirmation that I have posted on my mirror still today. When I started saying it, it was hard for me to say it because, like I started to say before, years ago, I believed that. But then over time, what happens is circumstances in your life kind of knock you down pegs, right? Like, or people that come into your life. Like in my instance, I was in an abusive relationship. Like, I won't say abusive physically, but very mentally abusive. So emotionally abusive. And this person would say things that, were very harsh, very hard to hear, very degrading, very much made me feel unworthy. And, even when they would they were so manipulative and doing doing this in such a way that it was like, sometimes they would give me these great compliments, but also follow it with things that were very mean. And a lot of times the compliments were backhanded, and making me think that me wanting more, or me, winning things, or getting, if I won a sales contest, or if I was the best, whatever, making me feel bad for that, making me feel like, you know, that I was acting like I was better than other people, which I've never thought I was better than other people. But I've always wanted to win, and I've always had that drive and wanted to be the best at everything that I do. And it's not about like being better than anyone else. I believe that we are all equal, and I do not believe that I'm better than anyone else. I believe that this goes back to the worthiness, like we are all breathing the same air. We all were given, a heart that beats. We all have the same access um, to the air we breathe, to, God has made us all unique, but he has made us all innately worthy. We are all just as worthy as the next person, no matter what their life circumstances have looked like. We are just as worthy. We are no better than another human. Like it's a core belief of mine. And I truly believe that we all struggle with worthiness and thinking we are worthy, especially when it comes to things that we want for ourselves, especially as mothers. Like this applies to everyone, but especially as mothers, we tend to put everyone's needs before ours. And we, again, don't feel worth certain things. Like, if this isn't done or if this doesn't happen, then I'm not worthy. And, I a lot of times will get to the end of a day, or used to get to the end of the day and look at what I had done for the day and been like, gosh, I didn't get anything done, and felt like a failure. I felt, like I wasn't worth, like I wasn't a good mom. Like I wasn't worthy of having that title, like of mom. Like, why do I even have kids? Like when I was in a depression, I kind of felt like that. Like, why do I even have kids? Or why, was I allowed to bring children into this world? And I didn't even feel worthy of having the children. God gave me these kids, and I'm like, why was I blessed with these kids? Like, I don't even deserve to have these children. I can't even get myself out of bed, or whatever it was. And, at different places in my life, I've felt different levels of unworthiness. And, what I really came to realize just over the past couple of years, doing a lot of deep dives into this specifically, is that a lot of people, not just me, feel that we are unworthy of making a lot of money. And I think that women in general have been made to feel like they have these certain roles in society, in their family hierarchies, in, the men always bring, they're the breadwinners, right? Like that's what we used to call the men, the breadwinner, right? And the woman was the homemaker, right? And that kind of flipped. The script has flipped a little bit. And now you will see a lot of women making more money than their husbands, or even husbands staying home with the kids nowadays. But there's a lot of society that believes that the male is the one who makes the money, and women don't feel worthy of making that kind of money. I know that, like, when I was single and I was making a lot of money, it was, sometimes told to me that it was intimidating that I made that kind of money. And, men didn't want to date someone who made more money than them. And, all these things, and these, I don't know, things that have been said to you, things the way society are, they play a role in how you're conditioned, and then what you internally like believe about yourself. And you somehow take on that unworthiness. And I know that happened to me. And I want to just say today, if you are someone who desires to be a millionaire, then you are worthy of that. Like, you should take the steps and become a millionaire. Like, it is something that you can do. It is something that you are worthy of. And if you have that desire, like if that is something that is a true desire, like it's not just like everyone would love to be a millionaire, right? No, this is like an actual want of yours. It's an actual desire. you feel like you were meant to be a millionaire and make $1 million, make $1 million a year, make $1 million in a month. Who knows? You might have that desire. If that is seriously something that is super important to you, you should pursue it. You are worthy of it. No matter what anyone has told you in your life, you are worthy of it. You are worthy of, it could be as simple as like, you are worthy of taking a shower. There was times in my life where I didn't even feel like I could take a shower. And I honestly didn't feel like I was worth being clean. Like I was so depressed that I didn't even feel, being clean. I didn't even feel like worthy enough to be clean. I didn't have any desire. I was like, I'm gross, all these things. And you just like stopped like caring about that kind of stuff, which is completely crazy to me now when I think about that. But it's so true. Like I didn't feel worthy of it at the time. And there are people right now that probably feel that way. And I want to tell you, you are worthy. You are worthy. Every single human is worthy of being clean. Every single human, you are worthy of it, and you are worthy of whatever is in your heart. So those were very big extremes, a millionaire and then taking a shower. But I think you guys get my point. Like we need to check into, like really sit and take some time. And, it took me a lot of years and a lot of work, but I just wanted to plant the seed today about the fact that if you take a look in your past, if you take a look at what your body is telling you, like what your heart is saying right now, like what your gut is saying about you, how you're feeling, and if you feel worthy or if you lack that worthiness in your life. And if you need help in any way, please, please reach out to someone. If you have no one to reach out to, or you can't afford a therapist or anything like that, please reach out to me. I would love to figure out a way to help you. But I just want you to know that you are worthy. I also want to share another quote. Because, worthiness, it can be something that I said it's conditioned, like you being unworthy is conditioned, and it can start at a very young age. If you didn't feel worthy, like I said, I had kind of a blessed childhood, but there are many people who, in order to feel worthy, they had to do things or achieve things in order to feel like they could receive love. And they, whether it was getting good grades at school or playing sports and being the best at their sport, they didn't feel loved unless they were performing, unless they were getting those good grades, unless they were, being the best at the sport that they were in, and winning and all of those things. And they didn't feel loved unless they were doing that, unless they were achieving that. And so for those kind of people, worthiness is like a wound that, their whole life they have spent trying to achieve things in order to feel that love and to feel that worthiness. And this quote that I'm going to share next is from, I'm going to butcher this name, but Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, I think it is. And it says, the ultimate lesson lesson all of us have to learn is unconditional love, which includes not only others, but ourselves as well. And that is so true. It is very true that first of all, we can't give unconditional love to someone else unless we have unconditional love ourselves, unless we feel that for ourselves. We cannot give it to someone else, which may be really hard to hear, especially if you have children. But it is really, it is true. Like a lot of times we put conditions on our love, right? And I'm not blaming parents here, right? Like if your parents did that to you, where you were the kind of person who, unless you were achieving or doing, or you didn't feel love unless something else happened, it may be really hard for you to also do that, not do that to other people. So you have to kind of figure out and go deep and peel back the layers to figure out like what you can do to love yourself, because we first have to love ourselves in order to love other people. And when you love yourself, then you will be able to know, it's a knowing that you are worthy. Like, you just know that you're worthy. You were born, God put you on this planet. He believes you are worthy. I don't know how many of you are believers, but I believe that he sent his son here to die on a cross for us because we are all worthy of that. Each and every one. Like, Jesus didn't die for just one person. He died for every single person, which includes you. So I want you to know today that God thinks you're worthy. He believes you are worthy. And so you need to believe you're worthy. And a lot of times it starts with the love, our own self-love, and giving that to yourself so that you can be a better mom, so that you can unconditionally love your children and not pass on those things to your kids that were passed on to you. And remember, your mom and your dad, they were daughters and sons as well, right? And so the reason that they did what they did was probably because that was done to them, right? And so we just have to give grace to other people. And this is what, again, God does to us, right? So you have all the grace. I am not judging. I have been where you are. I actually, didn't realize that I was feeling unworthy and that I didn't feel like I really loved myself at some point once I became a mother. Um, it didn't come out until like I went through my deep depression, but like I realized that I was doing things where I was projecting things onto my children. So I finally like realized like that I was actually saying things or doing things because I wanted my kids to, and it wasn't necessarily for me like about achievement. It was more about wanting to see them succeed in something that I had succeeded in. And so like I kind of pushed my daughter into dance, and she wasn't loving it at all. And she really liked the dance class, but she was struggling. She did not like the teacher. The teacher yelled all the time. And so she does not do well with that. Like, she did not do well with that at all. She felt like the teacher, they were only 4 and the teacher was like yelling at the kids all the time. And she may have just had like a loud personality, but in Gabriella's eyes, like the teacher was yelling at them the whole class, like to be quiet and to this and to that. And like, she did not like that. It stressed her out. And so I was like, well, we just need to switch dance studios, right? And like go somewhere else. And so I like put her in a different dance, and she does like to dance, but it took her years to come to terms with, like, it actually took her having migraines, believe it or not. I finally figured out that her migraines were always on dance night. And you guys, I was like floored. I was like, do you not like dance? And she was like, I mean, because she would not want to go, but then she would come home and she would love it. So I am going on a whole nother tangent, which I can totally do. And we will definitely talk about that in a different episode. Again, about like tuning in and whatever. But like, this was something that I had realized, like, I didn't know this about the dance at the time anyway, I digress. I'm bringing it back to the worthiness, right? So I'm just saying that as a mother, it's really important for you to check in to your love for yourself, your worthiness, to make sure that you know that you are worthy, so that you can pass that on to your kids, because we all want our kids to know that they are worthy of anything that they want. They are worthy of whatever their little heart desires, right? But so are you. You are worthy of whatever you are worthy of whatever your heart desires. And I just want you to know that if you don't know that from anyone else, please hear it from me. And it's really not from me. Like I can't give that kind of validation, but please trust that God believes that you are worthy, and I believe that you are worthy. And so you need to believe in yourself and know that you are worthy. So I hope this helps someone today. I know it was kind of a deep topic, and we can all use this type of encouragement in our lives. There's always things that we can do to improve our image of ourselves, and affirmations is one big way for me. So I will follow up. Maybe that's what the next podcast episode will be about, is about affirmations and how I use those in life, to help with lots of things. But to wrap this up in a pretty little bow, because I feel like I've rambled on a couple of different tangents here, just know that you are loved, you are worthy, and I hope you found something in this that you can take away and use. And till next time, y'all. So I kind of went off on a couple of tangents there, but I want to wrap it up and just say, I hope you know that you are worthy. And if you need any encouragement in that area, I would love to hear from you. Please reach out to me on social media. I'm going to drop, like, you can look in the notes section. I will have ways that you can contact me through this podcast, wherever you're listening. And I would love to hear from you, any feedback that you have, but especially if you need help in this area. All right. Till next time, y'all.